Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where with the RCS and a little bit of slingshot trickery, I was actually able to get this orbit, which is better than I had hoped. It's just under, I think, where we need to be. Is where we need to be 1 million meters? Let me double check that. I'm not sure this is actually where we need to be at all. Let's see here. I thought it was 1 million kilometers, though. It might be 1 million kilometers. Yeah, I think it's 1 million kilometers. We'll find out. We will find out. Okay, so the next question is, will we burn up this close to the sun? And the answer, I think, is no. We do have a little bit of fuel left. We could maybe do something like this, a maneuver here, where we just burn off all of the remainder. Oof. That's not getting us very far. It'll get us a little closer, to be sure. 200 and... yeah, that's all the closer we can get right there. 764. That's all the Delta V we've got. Well, as of right now, we are currently set to point up, so we are always pointing away. So these upper solar panels up here are actually super useful. But we do have lower solar panels, and it's actually the same number of solar panels, so this is equally efficient if we're facing towards or away from our target. So let's go ahead and just warp down this way a little ways and hope we don't die. I'm going to go ahead and autosave, just to be on the safe side. I mean, if this thing dies, that's fine. I don't think it will. I think that this probe might actually live, which is counter to its stated goal. However, I don't know. Maybe we'll do like an infinite fuel cheat just to crash it into the sun or something. I don't like doing that. It's a possibility. Maybe we just leave it in this wacky orbit. That's another possibility. I think that's more likely. We don't have anything orbiting the sun right now, and having something that goes from high to low orbit, that wouldn't be bad, actually. I mean, this thing would kind of bridge the gap between Moho and Eve. That's assuming it survives. And we are going to be running this burn up here, I think, unless we just want to bring our apoapsis in. But our orbital period is not that many days, actually. So I think maybe what we do is we just let's warp a little bit closer. Thing is looking pretty toasty. How are our radiators doing? Reasonable. They're doing reasonably well. Okay. The reason why I'm pointing away right now is I don't want our fuel tanks to go boom. But maybe they do. Maybe they don't. The other thing is, if we extend our heat shield, which we always could do, then that's going to block all of our solar panels. And that is not a great idea, I think. We're still in space high. We can see about trying to see the sun without all that glare. You can kind of make it out there. It's kind of... are those craters? A little weird. Anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and warp to right about here. We're pretty close to our periapsis right now. Hey, we are now in space near the sun. Okay, let's do this. Temperature scan. Transmit. Fantastic. Mystery goo observation. This is as good as we're gonna get. Transmit. Yep, I'm aware. Gravity scan. Transmit. 105.6 science for a gravity scan here. That is not bad. Now, we can't do a seismic data. I'm willing to bet that we wasted some money on some of these science experiments. No atmosphere to analyze. Yep. That's to be expected, I suppose. Negative gravioli? I mean, there are gravitational forces, but apparently that's not useful. We'll try it anyway. What else do we got here? Got our thermometer. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, so we do have our little bit of delta V left. Well, up here. Not quite enough for this burn, but we're going to just try to get a little bit closer. I don't think that this thing is going to die. Regardless, I think this is close enough. And I hope you agree. Oh yeah, look at that. The glare on it doesn't really cover the edges very well. I actually have a particle sun that I made in Unity, which, by the way, this game is made in. I might show it sometime. Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, let's execute this node. Let's go ahead and get just that little bit closer. I don't think I want to try to circularize it all. I think this is fine the way it is. I mean, we don't really have the delta V to do that. It would take so much delta V. Like, I think it would take probably 16k, maybe 20k. 16k was oddly specific. It would be somewhere in there. Okay. Let's just get this guy in as good of an orbit as we can. I will, at that point, eject the engine just to have the option of toggling the heat shield. I don't know if we can refold up the heat shield once it's unfolded, though. So I'm not going to do that. But I think we don't actually need... Not enough electric charge. Yeah, I think we don't actually need all of these radiators. I mean, we won't need them for going to Joule. There's no way around that. This thing will need to be redesigned for going to Joule. And this heat shield was kind of unnecessary. So all things considered, this probe was an abject failure. But that's okay. Got what we wanted. Ultimately, what I really wanted out of it was low sun orbit data. So I'm going to call that a win. And I'm going to say, we're not going to crash this probe into the sun. I may do one later, but for now we're going to leave the sun alone and say that just having something in orbit here is good enough. And we are out of fuel. So I'm going to go ahead and eject this engine. There's nothing more that we can do with it. Get out of here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nobody likes you. And then the question is, I'm gonna do a quick save here, because I want to find out, if I inflate this, can I deflate it? And also, we should go to up. If I inflate this, can I deflate it? And the answer is no. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, our electric charge is going down. Blocked by heat shield. That's what I thought. So this heat shield will be a whole lot more useful at Joule. In fact, we may as well just jettison this thing. Get out of here. Nobody likes you. Jettison it straight at the sun. It'll get there eventually. Actually, it probably won't. In fact, it'll certainly never get there. It will miss, just like we are. But eventually, we are at direct sunlight right now, apparently, somehow, through the heat shield. But that's okay. We will leave this thing in orbit, consider it an abject success failure. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And let's put a probe, and by probe, I mean rover, on Gilly. That shouldn't be too hard. The hard part, actually, is... It might be hard. Okay. Well, now that I think about it, Gilly is potentially going to have even more physics issues than Moho did. So let's go ahead and open up the Geraldo Mark 1. This guy here. We don't need an Atmo variant. We don't need the light variant. So let's open this guy. And the thing is, I think I want to change the way this is structured. As it sits right now, this is way, way overkill. I also want to go ahead and add in some struts down here, just to match what we had before. And they should really be quad-coupled. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so this thing here, ultimately, is going to be having some issues on Gilly. I don't hate the overall design. I think the overall design is pretty solid. Let's I hit Control Z. I'm not sure what it did. Let's try it again. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Okay, we're back to where we were. Just want to double check that these are still here. They are. Okay. So, let's just go ahead and take this guy off for now. Now let's put in a modular girder segment. Just elevate this slightly. And then, if I can, I would like to put in one like this. I mean, we could do something along the lines of this. That would be ridiculous. I mean, not exactly like that. We would want it bicoupled. And then we would want to rotate it like so. This is really, really dumb. Okay, how far out of the fairing are we sticking? Extremely. Oh boy. Okay, what if instead of using that size, we use just a regular modular girder segment and stuck it right like this? That's not bad. Okay, and then let's ditch this altogether. And I want to put on, I mean, we're not going to need much. I want to put on 2 T100 fuel tanks. We don't need a T400 worth. So something along the lines of that. And then just a very, very gentle pair of twitches. In fact, maybe not even. Let's see. What's the thrust here in vacuum? 40 kilonewtons versus 16 kilonewtons. This is still going to be massively overkill. Give it to me for Gilly. Stage 6, 1.5, huh? Okay. I mean, this is hilariously wrong, as it is. But we would want to move you way up here. You'd want to be, well, technically, we'd want you here. So, stage 2, 53 thrust to weight ratio. So yeah, this is still hilariously overpowered. I mean, realistically, maybe we use spiders? They're cheaper. Something like that. We'll put this up here. Actually, up here. Okay, only a thrust to weight ratio of 6.76. That's not bad. Of course, this fairing needs some work. We'll just delete it for now. And as far as the things we had on there before that we don't now, well, first off, this is the old version, isn't it? Let's just take all of this off and ditch all of this. Okay. And now I want to append in... Where is the newer version? Oh, I suppose it's probably the Mark 1 Atmo, isn't it? So let's append in the Geraldo Mark 1 Atmo. Oh, apparently we can't. Lovely. Okay, so is that structure still there? Nope, it's completely gone. Lovely. Okay, well, we'll just have to start over. So we'll ditch the parachutes. We don't need those. The rest of this can honestly probably stay. We are going to need a decoupler. And we're going to use the smallest decoupler we've got. That guy. And then, well, actually, That's really, really big. Okay. What if we use a hydraulic detachment manifold instead? Although on Gilly, the ejection force of this decoupler is probably enough. So let's go ahead and stick on our modular girder segment. We don't really need to be in mirror symmetry. So let's take that down for now. Mirror symmetry wouldn't be the worst here, though. Soon. There we go. Modular girder segment there. And then a pair of them sticking out like this. We'll go back to mirror symmetry for now. A pair of them like that. And then on the edge here, all we need is T100s. Although, I do kind of wonder what the burn time on this is. Are the T100s massively overkill? Probably. We'll stick on a pair of spiders, and let's take a look here. The spiders are where in this mess? Right here? Apparently? Why did it put them there? Okay, we'll put them... Where is their decoupler? Here? Okay. Put you there. And then these spiders we'll put here. And I think we're good. This decoupler should actually be considerably further down. We'll put it here, I guess, for now. Where is this other decoupler? Okay. Oh, that's for the heat shield. Right. We don't need a heat shield. I'll go ahead and ditch that. We're going to call this the Geraldo Mark II. And we're going to go ahead and save. There we go. The other thing I want to check is that we didn't get anything recently. We've already got a negative gravioli detector on there. So I think that's everything. Unless we don't have an atmospheric fluid spectrovariometer, which we may or may not have. It kind of looks like we don't have one, in fact. Okay, well, I really don't think we need these radiator panels for Gilly. So, what we could do is... Where did I put that? Here it is. We can put this... No, get back up there, MechJeb. You're fine. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you can go ahead and go here-ish. We don't need it mirrored, though. So let's just have one of them. There we go. And then the question is what to put in this spot. Well, it's a good question. I mean, we could put something fancy there, or we could put something stupid there, or we could just put nothing there. Another option, now that I think about it, would be to put a service bay on here, move this up, and put a lot of these things in the service bay. Now that's a bit big, and that's our smallest service bay, but I think it's still okay. And then we just put that there, so that way a lot of our things are safe. So then we'd be able to move our thermometer into here, place it right here, a barometer as well, and we'll put our computer flight unit in here. Not that direction. There we go. We'll put our MechJeb just outside. I like to put it out here. It's kind of bulky. This would allow us to move our photovoltaic panels to be over here. Although this is kind of an awkward rotation. I'll probably just ditch them and grab new ones. Yeah, that's a bit better. So that would allow us to put them there. We'll need the fluid spectrovariometer. I think, honestly, right about here is fine. It'll take up most of that space. We'll put a seismic accelerator in here. Right about... here is probably good. What else do we got out here? We've got our thermometer. Didn't we already put a thermometer in here? We did. We don't need 2 thermometers. We'll ditch that. What else? What else? What else? Well, we have our backup power panels. We can put those on the outside of well, we can put one here, but we've got a mech jeb here. So maybe we do put this mech jeb inside. Right about here. Okay, what else do we got out here? We've got our Communitron, which maybe we put that inside, maybe we don't. We've also got our batteries in the back. We could probably cram those inside. So let's try that. They're pretty big. But we can fit them in there, it looks like. They're kind of overlapping our KER, but that's fine, I think. And that would allow us to put our Communitron right on the back. Like this. Now, what way is it going to open? Like that. That's potentially a little awkward. So maybe what we do instead is we just kind of angle it. Like that. That's not terrible. I don't hate that. I'm going to tweak it a bit, though. Let's rotate it slightly more this way. How's that? Yeah, I like. Okay. So that's most of our things outside in. I'm going to leave the mystery goo here because it creates a wonderful nose. So that's fine. I'm going to go back to mirror symmetry, make sure there's... Oop, need to be in place mode. Make sure that this is... No? Really? Okay. I guess it doesn't like putting a photovoltaic panel on both sides. But we'll take it out of symmetry mode and do it manually then. One there. And one there for our backup panels. Now, as far as these panels go, they are also a little awkward, but... Oh, there's only one. There, that's better. They're a little awkward, but I think they're fine where they are. I like that they're up on top. That's pretty excellent. And then the question is, do we want to have a backup antenna? Well, what are our options as far as long-range stuff goes? Well, this one that we've got right now has a range of 2G. This one has a range of 15, but it's kind of enormous. This one has a range of... Can't see because of KER in the way. 100G. Wow. Okay, I kind of want one of these. Okay, let's stick that there for now. We should probably take it off of mirrored mode because we don't need two of them. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's really not gonna fit. But it was worth a go. Okay, what's the range on this guy? 500k? No thanks. So I think... I think this guy is the only real option. So the question is, do we want to back up on here? Well, first off, it's not quite centered, and that's going to drive me crazy. So I need to take it off of snapping, and right about there-ish. Maybe a little further. Yeah, right about there. Okay, I mean, it's not really anchored to anything, but we can push it in a little bit and make it appear slightly more anchored, like so. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. Of course, this structure will be gone. Okay. I like the Geraldo Mark II so far. I think it's got some nice upgrades. Of course, the one thing it doesn't have is the ability to actually, you know, fit in its fairing. So let's go into tool place and delete this fairing. And let's see if we can get a new one that's big enough. We can, actually. And in fact, it doesn't need to be quite this big. Something more along the lines of this or so. Oh. This or so. Right about... Oop. Nope. It doesn't want to get smaller than that. So I guess that's our fairing. Okay. That's not too bad. And then as far as this goes, I mean... we could put on some solar panels on this, but I don't think we need it. Altogether, I think this is fine. One thing that we do not have on here that we probably want is a small reaction wheel. I don't think we need it outside of the sky crane. So let's go ahead and just stick a command and control. Where are you? Here you are. Let's just stick a small reaction wheel on here. Okay. Well, apparently I've been working on this for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and what's happening with this fairing? I'm not sure. We'll try to figure that out next episode, when we get this guy to Gilly. See you all then.